Opinions expressed on this radio program do not necessarily reflect the views of this radio station.
Todd never sugarcoats it. Does he tell it straight? You bet. Does he deliver with a sense of humor? Always.
I always start my Sunday mornings off listening to the Todd L. Levitt Law Show. It has tons of information, and he has such a great sense of humor.
My friends and I always tune in to the Todd L. Levitt Law Show.
Hold on tight. Don't let go. It's time for the Todd L. Levitt Law Show.
Welcome to the Todd L. Levitt Law Show. Good morning, good evening, and good night. I'm yours truly, attorney Todd L. Levitt, back in the mothership, in the middle of the mitten, pure Michigan baby, in a beautiful green nutrient field. And I have a huge show for the listeners today. Listen, folks, special guest in studio. I'm so stoked to have him back. Craig Russell will be joining us, but without further ado, let me welcome back to the show my mentor, my hero. You know him, you love him, you'll recognize the voice. Welcome back to the mothership.
Hey, Todd, thank you so much. It's an honor to be back here and helping you in the new studio. Put it back together. It's great here.
Michael J. came to the mothership to put the mothership back in order today. The mothership studio was a little out of whack, and you're here with your two grandsons. They're great. This is just 2 of 50 grandkids, right?
Yeah, 2 of 13 grandchildren. I've got, number 3 here. And what's your name?
Nate Nyman.
Yep, Nate is 11 years old. And then, Stevie, where do you fall into the mix? Let's see, you have to fall down. I think you're around number 8. I think you're number 8. And what's your name?
Steven.
Speak nice and clearly and smile when you talk.
Well, he's been just running around just full of energy, but just now he was just great kids, though. They're great, though. Look at these guys are both super athletes.
They really are. Yeah. Stevie is 7 years old, but he's number 8 in the lineup of 13 grandchildren. Can you believe 13 now, Todd?
I thought you had 50.
I had my accident. I had 9.
Yeah, you look great, by the way. I know you're still not fully recovered. So, I mean, looks can be deceiving, and we're so thankful that you're just here in front of me, and I hugged you as soon as I saw you.
Well, and I'm grateful to you. I'm grateful to our dear friend John Marco and
attorney.
Another friend of yours, Steve Stillman, who's still working with me and helping me out. Yeah, it's been a long road, and, can you believe it's been almost 3 years since that accident?
That's unbelievable. Man, time flies. It's crazy, but so happy to have you back in the studio, and you'll be coming on the show on a regular basis, so the listeners will definitely be able to hear more from Michael J. And we podcast this all over the world. So, I mean, we're in 24 different countries. We were in Sweden, China, Australia, Germany. This show is heard all over on Podbean, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Android app, Libsyn. So for those of you that have no idea who Michael J. is, can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Yeah, actually, I started in restaurants. And you know that. Many years ago, I spent 25 years in restaurants, big boy restaurants, and my own. And then from there, I kind of fell into radio after having some surgery and working in a hockey arena as an announcer. I fell in as a sports broadcaster and then came to WUPS. And then, it started there, program director. I wasn't an on-air personality for many years. I did a lot of live remotes, worked a lot with Tammy and all the other jocks. And then all of a sudden I came into the morning show. I was your co-host and just did so many different things.
I was your co-host. You were the Todd L. Levitt Law Show. Michael J. got me my start. And we did the show for years. We had Ghazi on for a while, and then the accident happened. So
yeah, and
it's just great to hear your voice on the radio. I'm sure the listeners are. Look, we love Craig Russell. Craig Russell, the Hustle. He'll be back on the show here in upcoming
Craig.
segments. But Michael J, I love you. You're my brother, and nothing but love for Michael J. You used to do the bike nights, and you have a big event coming up.
Actually, this year we have two, Todd. We talked about this just last week. We are starting the night before my fun run with the Fun Before the Run comedy night, and I have got two huge comedians. I've got Nate Armbruster coming out from Detroit, and then a good friend from the Irish Comedy Tour who's been around Michigan, born and raised in Detroit, now lives in Las Vegas. Very dear friend of mine. You heard him on our show when we did our 10th anniversary show. Derek Richards is going to be here live and in person Saturday, September 15th for the comedy night. And if you can't make the run on Sunday, you can come and see all of the auction items and have some fun with us on that. And that's at Albright Shores Eagles on SD Road in Beaverton. Go to my website, michaeljfunrun.org, for more information. And then, of course, our fun run on Sunday starts at the Evening Post Bar and Grill in Clare, and we're going to ride to Remus, to Trails End and Leota, to Harrison, and then back to Albright Shores for a dinner, live auction, 50-50, and silent auction, and a whole good time, all to help out Peggy Bongart, who a lot of people in the mid-Michigan area know Peggy as Handle It Peggy. Peggy handles everything, and she has run the hospice benefits for 25 years for Abate. She has helped out with Abate Region 21 since its inception here in Mount Pleasant, and she is just a huge part of the community. She's now fighting small cell lung cancer. She had chemo and radiation, started to get better, and then it came back hard, and she's had to have a section of her lung removed, and she needs our help. And the family needs our help, and this is what we do the ride for.
Your fun run has given so much back to the community. Every year, somebody receives, just so much from what you do, and I'm so happy to have you back on the show talking about it. You'll be back on again to talk more about it as it gets closer to the event.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep.
And I want to thank you for being a sponsor and your donation of the wood carving that's going up for auction. That's our number one item right now.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool looking, how would you describe that?
It's bears climbing up a post, and you got that at Tip Up Town a few years back, right after my accident.
It was a young man's first carving.
Sean Bell's son did that first wood carving, and that's his very first one, and we're going to auction it off at our auction September 16th.
I've kept that in my office. People come into my law office here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. By the way, I now have an office in St. Ignace, Michigan, and I'm going to be opening up a satellite in Marquette next year. So I'm going to be all over the great state of Superior and the Upper Peninsula. And for those just tuning in, obviously, I'm a criminal defense attorney. I consider myself to be one of the top cannabis lawyers in the state, Michael J., as you know. So, this show is not a solicitation for my law practice, but I do practice law. A lot of people may not know that. We do have a huge show. Don't go anywhere because we still need you here in the studio. We have a few more minutes left. But we have a huge show coming up. We're going to be talking about Michigan approved 11 new conditions for the medical marijuana program. It's about darn time. We also have some information on a story I talked about last week, Michael J. We had public housing. The residents were told they can no longer smoke. All of a sudden, they were told, after living here for a decade, public housing, that you have to now step 50 feet away from your door of residence in order to smoke. And we got disabled people there. We have veterans. So we are our good friend who listens to the show in Manton. He gave us a follow-up. Wow. So we're going to be talking about that in the show. Craig's going to be joining us. Michael J. in studio talking, just my brother, I love you. Your fun run's coming up. Please, folks, it's such a good cause. So many people come out for that. When is it again, and how can they find out about it?
Sunday, September 15th is the comedy night. The 16th is the run. You can find us, find information on us in Thunder Roads, Michigan magazine or online. You can also find us online at our website, michaeljfunrun.org or .com. And check us out on Facebook, or come to all of the bike nights for 98.5 UPS in the central Michigan area I will be at virtually every bike night between now and the end of the season.
This is also being heard on Rock 105 95.5 as we speak. Also, speaking of Thunder Road Magazine, great publication. I'm a mountain biker. I like to shred the gnar. By the way, yesterday, 8 hours at Ithaca. My buddy Big Hair, Chris Taylor, all the guys were out there just shredding hard. It was an 8-hour bike race. It was outstanding. Fun Promotions puts that on every year. Well, also, there's a benefit the Isabella County Child Advocacy Center. Great benefit, and that takes place Saturday, August 4th. And that also is affiliated with Thunder Road.
Yep. Thunder Roads is a sponsor of that, and they work a lot with a lot of people, and that's even partially sponsored by Soaring Eagle Casino. So a lot of great effort has been put into that. I highly recommend, if you don't ride, go out and check out the events. They're not just for bikers. They're to help other human beings, and that's what this country needs to learn a little bit more about. This is not about individuals, not about bikers. It's about coming together as human beings and helping one another.
You know what? We always talk about that. There's so much hate out there. There's so much, negativity in the media. If you just tune it all out and just get back to being humans, we look out for one another. When we're out in the woods and you're way out there, miles and miles away, if your tire goes flat or your chain breaks, there will be someone who will come along. They're not going to ask you what your political affiliation is. They're not going to ask you how you feel about Roe v. Wade or the recent Supreme Court nomination, who I think is a great guy.
Right.
It's all about helping humans out. And look, I'm going to keep you around for another segment. I'm going to keep you around. I'm going to keep you around. Can you stick around for another segment?
I can.
Because there's no one better to advocate for biker safety, motorcycle safety, than you, Michael J.
Well, and it's because of you I'm getting a discount on my CBD oils because of the show. So, yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, so when we come back from break, and by the way, we open the show with one of your favorite.
Warrant, yeah.
Cherry Pie.
Love that song.
She's my cherry pie.
And there's a reason behind that, but we'll let that cat out of the bag on another date.
All right. Hey, we're going to stick around. Craig Russell. I don't know. Craig's supposed to be on his way to the mothership right now. I'm going to text him and let him know, Craig, I love you, but we're going to have to wait till next week to hear your voice because we're just going to keep Michael J in studio for the entire show. So
I don't know if I can do that.
Can you do that?
I don't know if I can do a whole show, but
okay. How about one more segment?
We'll let Craig come in and do the other half.
All right, we'll be right back after a break and a word from our sponsors.
The Todd L. Levitt Law Show thanks you for listening to our podcast. If you have a business you think people would want to hear about, the Todd L. Levitt Law Show accepts advertising. We can promote your business to a very specialized, targeted audience. Any size commitment and any budget. Email toddlevittlawshow@gmail.com for more information about sponsoring and advertising on the Todd L. Levitt Law Show podcast.
Welcome back to the Todd L. Levitt Law Show in the mothership in the middle of the mitten. Pure Michigan, baby. What a beautiful day in studio. Mine and yours truly, Michael J. Michael J., welcome back to the show.
Hey, Todd, thanks for having me. And boy, it feels...
How's the mothership look?
It looks great.
How about really the nutrient field?
I love it. I love winter.
Clones?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I love all that. I love winter, don't get me wrong, but I can't wait for summer and for green grass and for things to grow and purify again. Just before summer hit here, we had the ice storm in April. Do you remember that? Okay, well, I had my identity stolen. I've had a contractor steal from me. We decided it was time to get out of Dodge and go away. So we went to Las Vegas, my first time ever in Las Vegas. And I think I told you this story, but we were seeing Derek Richards in Las Vegas at the D. We were at Jokesters at the D in downtown Vegas on Fremont Street. And they were telling, the one comedian, Don Bernhardt, was doing jokes, and he was talking to the audience, and he was asking this family where they were from, and they said they were from Johannesburg. So he was messing with them, and then he finally says, how far is it time-wise from here to Johannesburg? She said, 3 hours time difference. He says, Johannesburg? And by the look on your face, he was thinking South Africa.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Right. And she says, no, Michigan. And Derek Richards gets up there and goes, whoa, wait a minute. I'm from Michigan. And my good friend Michael J. and his wife Jody are here. And I hear from the crowd to my right, Michael J.'s here? And he says, where are you from? They said, Johannesburg, just outside of Gaylord. And I remembered, I've done a remote up there.
Never heard of it, and I thought I knew every single town in Michigan below the bridge in the great state of Superior, a.k.a. Upper Peninsula.
Just outside.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, and so she gets up after the show, comes over to me and says, do you remember me? You did a remote for me. And I said, I did remember some of the things. I don't remember that particular thing. I did remember. My wife says, are you kidding me? We're in Las Vegas, and you got a following here? But back to this is
Michael J.
Part of the brain injury.
We love you.
It was 103 degrees with 3% humidity, and I loved it. I couldn't wait. And man, we come back here, and I said I can't do this cold stuff anymore. So I think I might spend winters maybe in warmer weather. I'm thinking. I don't know.
I mean, we are hot in the mothership right now in the nutrient field. Hey, by the way, Craig Russell during break, he's going to be coming on the second half of the show. This will be your last segment. We absolutely want to have you back, talk more about your fun run coming up. But before we get to some of the new qualifying medical conditions allowed under Michigan's medical marijuana program, and we have some more cannabis updates from around the world, no one better than you to talk about biker safety. We love motorcycles. We love our veterans. I'm always advocating to keep an eye out for motorcycles. Please, you were almost killed on one.
On my way here to
record the show.
Yep.
And interestingly enough, I almost canceled the show that day.
I know.
That haunts me. I was at Jay Sporting Goods. I love Jay Sporting Goods. I called you up and said, Mike, it was 2 o'clock. We were recording late. We were doing the show late that day, and I said, I'm not sure if I want to do the show. And you said, well, I'm on my way. I said, okay. I kind of
don't feel bad.
I know,
because,
but that was really odd how, if you look back in time, how things, if this didn't happen, that wouldn't have happened. I almost canceled the show that day.
Right, and my life would have been drastically so much different. And so,
Biker safety.
Just unfortunately yesterday I saw where there was an Abate brother of ours hit by a car, and both legs had to be amputated last night. You have to look twice and save a life, and sometimes you've got to look more than twice. The gentleman that pulled out in front of me was a biker, and he looked to the left. I was behind a tree. I was a single bike coming down a main road. He looked to the left, continued to proceed out, looked to the right, saw another vehicle coming, stopped, looked to the left again, and I was right there 30 feet. We didn't have any time. This was a pure accident. You just have to look twice, save a life, please.
But if you're in a truck, I drive a big old truck.
I do now, too.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But I always try to keep 3 or 4 car distances away from cyclists, motorcycles. If I see them coming in the opposite direction, I always make sure I keep my hands on the wheel, make sure I'm not distracted by anyone in my motor vehicle. I keep an eye on the bikers at all time. I keep my eyes on the road up front behind me, but I'm trying to keep them safe, but I'm also trying to protect them from other vehicles.
Right.
Especially what I fear is, and I saw this happen once, there's some cyclists coming in the opposite direction than I'm going. 2-lane highway. There was a car behind me that was just in such a hurry to pass me, but there were bikers coming. So I slowed down.
Right.
I brought that car to almost a complete stop just to protect the bikers, because I could see this idiot who was going to go around me and smash right into the bikers.
Yeah, unfortunately, that happens a lot. When John Marco represented me in that part of this, and they reconstructed just before Christmas, we were out there in the snow and cold. It was, I think, 10 degrees outside. I'm sitting in a vehicle trying to stay warm while he's got specialists here reconstructing the scene of the accident. And when their final conclusion was, it didn't matter. Everything I did was correct within the law and within the means of handling a motorcycle. It didn't matter. I ended up with a brain injury. I ended up totally disabled part of my body the rest of my life. It doesn't matter what bike you're on, what kind of bike you're on, how big your bike is. If something's going to happen, it's going to happen, and it's going to happen for a reason. Folks, if you're in a vehicle, if you're caging it, if you're in a truck, a car, even in a Can-Am bike, you have to look around. You have to be aware of what's going on around you. Don't text and drive. Don't, let distractions get to side.
Texting and driving, how often are you on the road and you see a vehicle next to you at a light or in the opposite direction, and the person's face is looking straight down? They're not even looking up. I can't tell you, there's not a week that doesn't go by where I have to swerve to avoid somebody who might cut me off. I support law enforcement 100% wholeheartedly, but I've seen officers. I'm sorry. Listen, they're human. I've seen officers, and we love law enforcement. We support law enforcement. They're only human. I've seen one or two texting, and I'm thinking, I was shocked. It's like, whoa, are you kidding me?
Right. No, I agree. I've seen it as well.
It's a human thing.
Does it. They've got the phones are now being to where they're disabled if there's a movement, like if they're in a vehicle. And I agree with that. If you're a passenger, disable it. Go ahead, use your phone. But if you're a driver, do not be distracted. They're distracted with eating. They're distracted with smoking. They're distracted with kids in the car. They're distracted by something on the radio.
And here's the other thing. These cars are like spaceships now.
Right.
You have to go through the astronaut program just to learn how to use it. I have an older truck, so I don't have any of those screens with all those Bluetooth and stuff.
Right.
I'm kind of old school like that. I don't want it. When I get a new vehicle, I want the whole thing taken out. Just give me a dashboard with an AM/FM radio. I don't give a crap. But here's a question for you. I find it very dangerous when I'm in my truck to be operating at dawn and dusk. I mean, as a biker, how dangerous is that?
Oh, that's extremely dangerous.
Do bikers intentionally stay off the road at those times?
No, because they know it's...
Talking about deer.
It's deer 30. I personally have had a deer jump me and hit my helmet with their hoof. I have hit a turkey. I have hit a pheasant. I have hit a squirrel and a fox. It happens. I know people that have hit deer and blown right through the deer. I know deer have run out and hit friends of ours and pushed them into oncoming traffic.
My good friend Frank Bailey, one of my closest friends. We love Frank. He's a good friend. You know Frank. He's been on the show.
Yep.
More than a year ago, I think it was almost a year and a half ago, Frank was on his Harley, and a deer took him off the bike. Then a car coming towards the opposite direction Frank's alive, ran right over him. And Frank is walking. Thank God. Frank he's one of the strongest guys I know, but after the deer hit the bike, he was okay. I mean, he wasn't okay. I mean, he was injured, but not only did he have to worry about the deer, but now you got a vehicle coming in his direction, and I'm not here to litigate the case whether there's liability or not, but he got ran over.
Right. Well, things happen fast.
And as a mountain biker, we train on these backcountry roads, and a lot of times we train after work, and we're going up and down, up and down. I can't tell you, and I'm not comparing us to motorcyclists as far as the causes and injuries and deaths that occur. There's no comparison. But we slow down on the downhills because we spook deer all the time, and they're running out in front of us. And that's my biggest fear, that I'm going to get taken out by a deer, and I'm on a bike as well, and I worry about that. So I'm making noise all the time. But when you're on a mountain bike and you're on a backcountry dirt road and you're coming on these swamps where they're all bedded down, we're spooking them, and you can hear them running, and you see them running out in front of you.
Oh, I'll bet.
I can just imagine on a motorcycle on a highway.
Or even if it's somebody else in a vehicle that spooks them up, and then they run out in front of a bike. And the bike, So do
bikers avoid? What did you call it?
Deer 30.
Because I'm not a motorcyclist. I never heard that before.
Well, a lot of people will tend to ride more in a group instead of alone. Deer 30 at night. See, now when I used to ride in the morning to work, because I started at 5 in the morning to prepare for the morning show, I would leave my house at 4. And I would go extremely slow all the way from Gladwin to Houghton Lake to the studio, and then, park my bike. Some mornings I'd get there and I'd be frozen by the time I got there, but this way I could ride my bike in the afternoon. Otherwise, I didn't get a chance to ride my bike often, but I rode extremely cautious, extremely slow. One morning, I came around a curve in Skeels. You know where Skeels is, and a deer was standing in the road wouldn't move, staring at me, and I tapped her on the nose with my left hand as I went by her and startled her. Now, I don't know what she didn't hear about the bike, the horn, me screaming, or the radio, but it just happens, and you just have to be aware. Now I suffer from a brain injury where I can't drive at dusk and dawn because people's lights bother me, and it sends me off the edge of the road. So my wife has to drive for me then. I can drive at night in the dark, and I have to use special glasses, but I hit a deer here just not too long ago with my pickup truck.
Speaking of your wife, and I'm glad you're okay though.
Yes.
Speaking of your wife, has she turned 32 yet? Jody, the lovely and talented Jody.
She just had a birthday last week.
Yeah, she's 33.
29.
29. Hey, if you're just tuning in, you know the voice. You love him. You miss him. I'm so happy he's here. He's one of my closest friends. He got me my start in radio. You can thank him or criticize him for that. The one and only Michael J., the handsome and talented Michael J. in the mothership. Mike's fun. He's going to be back on the show, talk about it in the near future, and he'll be back on from time to time as well because I love hearing his voice. I'm sure you do as well. Let's talk again before we have to go about your fun run. When does it take place, and how can they get more information about it?
You can get more information by going to our Facebook page, Michael J. Annual Fun Run. Check us out on the web, the World Wide Web, at michaeljfunrun.org or .com, or just listen to 98.5 UPS in the lower part of the mitten, or in the middle part of the mitten, I should say, northern Michigan. Central and northern Michigan. That's what it was, right?
The middle of the mitten.
Middle of the mitten.
Pure Michigan,
right.
baby, in a beautiful nutrient field.
Yep, and go to any of the bike nights. Pick up a bike night flyer, and our flyers are being printed now. Our comedy night flyers will be available tomorrow, and we'll have them out all over the place. You can go to our website, check them out there, check them out on our Facebook page. September 15th, the Fun Before the Run comedy night with internationally known comedian Derek Richards and his special guest, Nate Armbruster. Then Sunday, September 16th, we are riding for a very special lady, Peggy Handlet Bongart. Peggy has been stricken with lung cancer. They need our help. They need everybody's help. We do a live auction. We do a silent auction, 50-50. And a whole lot of fun. Come on out and join us. You don't have to be a biker. All vehicles are welcome. Everything is by donation. In the last 7 years, we have helped out Bikers for Kids, UPS Ed Charities, Christmas Kindness, a bunch of different organizations, as well as 7 individuals, and we have donated over $60,000 in 7 years. This year, I suspect, is going to be our biggest year.
And I'm so honored to have donated something that I've kept dear to my heart that I've had in my office here in Mount Pleasant. I was going to take it up to my St. Ignace office, and soon Marquette, Michigan, folks. I'll have an office in Marquette soon. That's right. The Todd L. Levitt, attorney at law, will be in a great state of Superior, but we're donating that beautiful carving out there.
That's a beautiful carving, and I can't thank you enough. That is going to be our number one auction item this year. At this
Can't
point.
wait. I'll be there.
We brought blankets and a dolly. We're going to wrap it all up, load it up, and take it with us today.
You say dolly again?
Dolly?
Yeah, I just like how you say dolly.
Hello.
Did you ever date a dolly?
No.
And that song, when I was a kid, Hello, Dolly, I don't even want to say the words, drove me freaking nuts.
Who was that? Louis Armstrong, wasn't it?
No, wasn't that like
Jimmy Durante?
No. I mean, I'm not some Broadway play. I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Michael J. Craig Russell will be coming up in the next couple segments. We love Craig. Craig Russell, we call him the Hustle. Michael J., thank you so much for coming back to the show that you helped launch, the Todd L. Levitt Law Show. We're podcasting all over the world, and you'll come back on the show here in the next couple weeks.
Absolutely, because you promised to help me start podcasting eventually and get
Michael J. is going to have his own podcast. We're going to be talking about that. In fact, when we do that, let's launch it right here on the show.
Absolutely.
Mike, I love you.
I love you, Todd. Thank you very much,
I love
brother.
you so much. Fellow paisano, mangiapane, and ti amo. That was, I want to eat some bread, and I love you. We'll be right back, Mike, after a break.
After a break right here on the Todd L. Levitt Law Show. Craig, we're turning it back over to you, brother. Thanks a lot.
The Todd L. Levitt Law Show thanks you for listening to our podcast. If you have a business you think people would want to hear about, the Todd L. Levitt Law Show accepts advertising. We can promote your business to a very specialized, targeted audience. Any size commitment and any budget. Email toddlevittlawshow@gmail.com for more information about sponsoring and advertising on the Todd L. Levitt Law Show podcast.
Welcome back to the Todd L. Levitt Law Show, broadcasting from the mothership, the Black Diamond Mothership. Craig Russell's in the mothership. Craig, that was awesome having Michael J. in the studio. I'm sorry that you missed him there.
That's okay.
But
that's okay.
He'll be back.
Oh, yeah. No, it's always good to hear from Michael J. Big part of 98.5, big part of the Todd L. Levitt Law Show. If I've got to give my microphone up to anybody, Michael J's the guy to do it. He's a good guy. He's been through a lot, and really glad he was able to come on and talk about the fun run and talk about how he's doing, because I'm sure a lot of people are interested and want to know what's going on with him. So, but back to the Todd L. Levitt Law Show.
Craig, I had the weirdest experience last week, and all the guys out there, all the men, all the guys, they can relate to this. It was so bizarre, and I'm not trying to be funny. There are people listening to the show. They're eating breakfast, lunch, dinner. It depends on what time zone you're listening to. I was at a business, and I'm not trying to be funny. The urinals were too high. I walked into the bathroom to use a urinal, and I'm not kidding. There were two of them. Usually one's short, one's taller.
Right.
Both of them were too high. I thought it was some kind of joke, like I was on some kind of hidden camera, like Candid Camera or something. It was the most bizarre thing. You literally, listen, ladies, you don't, and I'm being totally serious here. You need to shoot down, not straight.
Right.
And thank God I'm 6 feet tall. I managed to handle myself there, but I wanted to go to management and say something to them. I was afraid they were going to look at me like, who is this guy? Yeah, do you feel me on this?
Oh, I totally do, because I'll have to be honest with you. I'm 6 feet tall too, but most of it is torso. I have really short legs. So I always pick the lower one because of that very reason. You want to point down. You don't want to make a mess. You point up, it splatters all over everywhere.
It was so bizarre, bro. It was just really bizarre. But hey, some good news for the citizens of the great state of Michigan.
Okay.
Michigan finally qualified new medical conditions that fall under the medical marijuana program.
Awesome.
This is great news. So the new health conditions that qualify are arthritis, autism, chronic pain, colitis, inflammatory bowel disease, obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, Parkinson's, rheumatoid arthritis, spinal cord injuries, Tourette syndrome, ulcers, colitis, individuals that have colitis due to ulcers. This is really great news, and it's long overdue, but kudos to the state of Michigan. This list should have been updated years ago, and it still has a lot further to go, but I'm really happy to see this.
It's really good, especially for people who need to take their medicine and people who need pain relief and things like that. Now, I noticed you did say autism, and the first thing of course, we always think of children when it comes to autism. How are they going to handle that situation? Because I doubt they really want to give medical marijuana or CBDs or things to really young kids.
All of this would have to be done under the guidance of a medical doctor who is progressive, and is not afraid to treat these patients. The problem people are having out there, Craig, is that when they go to their doctors for certain types of medical conditions and a blood test is drawn, if they test positive for THC, these doctors will refuse to prescribe medications and perform certain treatments. I've heard this dozens and dozens of times. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into it if it's the American Medical Association or the federal government. But there's way too many medical professionals out there who have been threatened, scared, intimidated by the medical profession, that if they are to treat their patients who are medical marijuana card holders with THC levels, they're not going to get other types of prescribed medications and so on. You know, thank God the federal government has allowed the VA to, treat medical marijuana card holders in the various states in which they're seeking care. That was a big problem for quite some time, and we support and love our vets. Can't thank them enough. So at least that initiative is taking place, and if any vets out there are having problems, make sure you let us know about it right here on the Todd Levitt Law Show, and we'll bring it to the public's attention.
989-772-6000 if you need to call Todd, or toddlevittlawshow@gmail.com. You're saying some of the doctors were threatened or it's been recommended. I bet you they've also been a little brainwashed too.
Yeah, no doubt about it. When I say threatened, not threatened physically, I'm just referring to...
No, but threatened...
I guess the proper terminology would be intimidated, influenced unduly by lobbyists who lobby the medical profession, possibly the American medical profession, possibly other pharmaceutical companies. I have no idea. We'll have to get a doctor on here, maybe in confidence. We'll disguise the identity to talk about this, and I think that's a great idea. I'm going to get a medical doctor on the show, Craig. What do you think about that idea to talk about what type of pressure he or she has been placed under when it comes to treating patients who are medical marijuana card holders? Again, it just goes to the discrimination out there that card holders see from day to day.
And not only get a doctor who is having some issues with that, but maybe get the opposing point of view. Get Dr. Bob. Denali Healthcare. He's the other side of that. He's the one who's going to go ahead and has got the experience and has got the ideas of how to treat people. Maybe he'd be another good one to have on as well.
In fact, I think we should have Dr. Bob on the show next week. If he's listening or anybody knows Dr. Bob Townsend, great man, be sure to have him give us a call. I'll be sure to reach out to Dr. Bob. We'll have him come on the show. He's a perfect individual to give that information. And he's a vet. He's also a vet. He served our country. So, Hey, big kudos, by the way. Navy SEALs, the Americans, the international community that all came together to rescue those soccer players and that coach. That's amazing.
That was such good news. I mean, we hear such bad news all the time. It's always good to hear one of those kind of stories because they were struggling with thinking that they would not be able to rescue those kids. There was that one Thai Navy SEAL who passed away last week trying to rescue them, and they didn't really think it was going to happen. And luckily, it all came about, and that was really that's a good world story, and it was really a good thing too.
Yeah, it's good to see the country come together. It just goes to show you that at the end of the day, we're all human. We're all earthlings.
That's right.
And we're all in it for the same thing. We need more feel-good stories, no doubt about it.
Totally agree.
Hey, by the way, I was reading High Times last week online.
Okay.
I love two of my favorite online resources are hightimes.com, and leafly.com. Great resources. And when I was, and all the credit, you always have to give credit to your sources.
Sure.
So I got this from High Times, and there was an article by A.J. Harrington, great author, great individual. This was published on July 10th. The DEA has released this year's drug slang handbook.
Oh, okay.
So the DEA, have you heard about this?
I have.
Some of the terms that make the cut each year are obviously pot, weed, reefer, herb. Some of the new entries, are you ready for this, Craig?
Sure.
Include smoochy, woochie, poochie, love nuggets, and then a few others. Let's see. Tiggity, devil's lettuce. They come out with some great, this is the DEA's terms, not just the DEA terms, but they have plenty of nicknames for marijuana, and the DEA labels cannabis under these terms. Isn't that unbelievable?
What is snooky, woochie, poochie? What was that?
Smoochy, woochie, poochie. And many of the words for marijuana that the DEA list are nomenclature for cannabis strains. Blue Dream, cheese, Girl Scout cookies, Northern Lights. They all made the list this year. And the handbook that they printed also, I'm not sure if it's even out there for print, has a special section for concentrates and oils, dabs, wax, and so on and so forth. But they come up with some interesting terms there. How about bubble hash? That made the list just this year. Bubble hash. My two favorite terms that I read in the article are bubble hash and smoochy woochie poochie. And love nuggets. Who doesn't like the word love nugget? You can use that word interchangeably, love nugget.
What was the snooky wookie? What was that one? The poochie wookie? What was it called?
Craig, I refer to you as smoochy woochie poochie.
Isn't that what you used to call your girlfriend? Smoochy woochie poochie or whatever it was called? Whatever is it?
Hey, also, if you recall last week, we were complaining about the state of Michigan informing some of its state housing recipients that they can no longer smoke.
Okay, yeah, right.
Well, as it turns out, we got a call from one of our longtime listeners, a good friend of the show, and he informed me that the housing is federally subsidized, and that's why that the change took place. And just to update those who weren't tuned in Michigan, one of the locations where the state subsidized housing for disabled people, vets, and so on, after years told the residents that they can no longer smoke in the residence, that they have to be within so many feet of the residence to smoke. And this is a problem for disabled people, for vets, just in general. That's your residence. And now all of a sudden, out of the blue, they can no longer smoke. Well, one of the reasons is because it's federally subsidized. So there you go again. The state of Michigan a small town, Craig, to the north that has nothing to do with the federal government. These are people who live in Michigan in a small town, are controlled and influenced by people in Washington, D.C. that have no interest whatsoever, nor do they even care about the 24 or so men and women who live in this housing complex. And yet the federal government, once again, is stomping on their constitutional sovereign rights to live the way they want to live. And it's just more BS, and it just never stops. And we're here on this show to expose it.
That's right. And hopefully the states' rights stuff will start taking care of some of these things. I don't know if that issue is ever going to go away, but it's good for you for bringing it up and bringing it, and good for the friend of the show who called in to set the record straight, and good for you for bringing it up. Because that's the only way these things get changed is by exposure. And if you don't know it, then you won't know there's a problem, and you're helping take care of that. So.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. Hey, Craig, we have to go to break right now,
yes.
But we're going to come back strong with our final segment. We're going to come back strong with Cherry Pie by Warrant. That was Michael J's pick.
Oh, okay.
Michael J got to pick the music for this week's show. Big shout out to Michael J. And Michael J's Fun Run coming up. We'll have more information on that up later on down the road. So we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors, Craig.
The Todd L. Levitt Law Show thanks you for listening to our podcast. If you have a business you think people would want to hear about, the Todd L. Levitt Law Show accepts advertising. We can promote your business to a very specialized, targeted audience. Any size commitment and any budget. Email toddlevittlawshow@gmail.com for more information about sponsoring and advertising on the Todd L. Levitt Law Show podcast.
Welcome back to the Todd L. Levitt Law Show, coming back strong with Cherry Pie, Love Warrant. Listen, I'm a fan of the hair bands, Craig. I love the hair bands.
I know. Oh, I know you are.
Hey, quick deviation here before we get to our next story here. By the way, our next story is going to be about another article in High Times. They have an article, The Best Places to Smoke a Joint in L.A. You got to love that.
Okay.
So, yeah, absolutely. For those that like to celebrate smoking in the great outdoors, they have a list of some places that can do so. And California is our second largest state that listens to this show, other than Michigan.
Okay.
Check this out, Craig. In downtown Mount Pleasant, there's a business now, and it's called Pure Vitality Juice Bar and Spa.
Okay.
It's on 128 East Broadway, right downtown Mount Pleasant in the middle of the Mitten. Great family that owns and runs this place. Juice bars. They have infrared saunas. They have infrared massages. But the cool thing is, besides all the natural drinks and food they have, and the fact that it's a great family, they have something called float pods. Have you ever heard of a floating pod, a float pod?
I have not. What is that?
Well, it's 1,000 pounds of Epsom salt, and it just frees you from the pressure of gravity, and you get in this pod. It's all Epsom salt. It is so relaxing. It is right out of a James Bond or Austin Powers movie. It's out of Nassau.
Okay.
You go into this room. There's this giant pod filled with water that's 1,000 pounds of Epsom salt, and that much salt, you're going to float. It is the coolest thing I've ever experienced. And it was so cool, I had to talk about it on our show. So if you're anywhere near mid-Michigan or anywhere in Michigan, make your way to Mount Pleasant, Michigan, and check out this floating pod at Pure Vitality right on East Broadway down from my office. It's so cool. I invited Grant and his siblings to come on the show next week and talk about this. So next week, Grant's going to be on the show.
Well, that's awesome. That sounds like one of those things you'd see like in a big city like New York or Chicago or something. And to have it right in Mount Pleasant, that's awesome. Did you experience it? You took the pod, you went into it, correct?
Yeah, it is so cool. I mean, it's the Perry family that owns it, and Grant Perry, Mitch, and his sister. They're going to come on the show and talk about these pods. I think I'm going to go down after the show and just float in the pod. It's unbelievable. But hey, Craig, if you like to smoke smoochy woochie poochie, according to the DEA, where in California are the best places? That's what the listeners want to know.
Los Angeles sounds like you can actually smoke in public in Los Angeles. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. So, they got great temperatures, palm trees, oceans. I mean, it's unbelievable. Echo Park is one of the places that you can go outside in the great outdoors and enjoy the smoochy woochy poochie.
I love that name. That's cool. That's good. Okay.
Yeah, Malibu, even Malibu. They have a beach in Malibu where you can also hang out too, they say.
Wow.
Grand Park, downtown L.A. Griffith Observatory. I would love to go watch the sunset at the Griffith Observatory and have some smoochy woochy poochie.
You just love saying that. That's all it is.
I just want to say smoochy woochy poochie.
I know.
The Hollywood Bowl overlook in the Hollywood Hills.
Really?
Santa Monica Pier. I mean, there's just a great list. I would just recommend everybody check out hightimes.com instead of me, just sitting here talking about it. But that's great. And in Michigan in November, we're definitely going to get recreational cannabis passed.
But interestingly enough, and you were talking about Michigan becoming rec in November, most states, even if it's legal recreational-wise, it's not legal to smoke in public. California is one of those rare places, the same with Los Angeles. Is that not correct? Most places you have to be in your personal dwelling. You can't be in your car, and you can't be in public for sure. Was there another city that you could smoke in public? Was it New York, or am I thinking of something completely different?
I'm not sure, Craig. That's I'll have to look that up, and that's for another show. But great transition point with the time we have left. We're going to invite Dr. Bob on the show to talk about why doctors are hesitant in prescribing other types of medication if someone tests positive for THC or a medical marijuana card holder. This has been a huge ordeal. I'm sure a lot of our listeners can relate to that. We also need to have an attorney on the show who can talk about property right disputes. It is unbelievable how many phone calls I get throughout the year where neighbors are just have these ongoing disputes. It's really sad. People just want to live in peace and quiet, and people argue and fight over inches. I'm talking inches, sometimes feet, inches, yards of property line issues. There's trees that are growing over on someone else's property, or the dogs are getting loose, or there's trash being thrown on someone's property. People, just live in peace. We all want the same thing.
See, and that also brings up another good point, too, as you're talking about we need to have another attorney on talking about this. If you have some kind of a legal issue, now, of course, Todd, what is your legal specialty? What do you specialize in?
Well, I'm a criminal defense attorney specializing in driver's license restoration, misdemeanors, anything and everything that has to do with operating ORVs, four-wheelers, motor vehicles, boats, motorcycles in regards to alcohol-related charges, possession cases. But I consider myself to be one of the leading cannabis attorneys in Michigan in regards to consulting with townships, individuals, corporations, putting individuals in contact with lawyers who can help them apply through the state of Michigan to get in line for pre-approval for these licenses. I do practice from mid-Michigan all the way to the Upper Peninsula. I have an office in St. Ignace in the great state of Superior, the Upper Peninsula. And this time next year, I'll also have an office in Marquette, Michigan.
And see, and then the other part of this is you know nothing about copyright law. You know nothing about property law. But you have an access to some of the best lawyers in the country when it comes to things like this. And if you ever have any kind of a legal problem, if you ever have any legal questions, you can always call Todd. And if Todd can't help you, if it is something to do with driver's license restoration or with possession of marijuana or something like that, he can put you in touch with some of the best lawyers in the country to help you, not only in Michigan, but in your part of the country too. 989-772-6000, or you can go to Todd Levitt lawshow@gmail.com or centralmichiganlawyer.com on the web to find out more information on how to help out. That's one of the best things about you as a lawyer, that you are kind of the law that you practice, but also your network of great lawyers all across the country that can help people out.
I've put some of our listeners in touch with Attorney John Marco, who have personal injury cases, auto, motorcycle, truck accidents. So I do take those calls as well. But hey, Craig, what a huge show we've had today. We had Michael J. on earlier. He was on for 2 segments, and we're obviously joined by you, my dear friend. Next week, we're going to try our darndest, and it won't be difficult to have an attorney on the show who can talk about property rights. Another thing in regards to property rights is And I always recommend this is not a good idea when you have a boyfriend or girlfriend who are living together and they acquire property together, and then one passes away or there's a breakup. Who owns the property? Who owns the vehicle? And that is an ongoing issue. There's courtrooms that are filled year in and year out with men and women who are in these huge disputes, not all over land rights, but over personal property when there's no marriage involved. And I always recommend people do not live together and purchase a house together. That's just a bad idea if you're not married.
And also, here's the other one, too. Boyfriend and girlfriend are living together, and they're both on the lease, and then they break up. Who's got to move out? Who's got legal right to the apartment for the next 7 months of the lease? How is that all?
Well, if the landlord doesn't let one of the parties out, they're both responsible for that lease. I can tell you that right off the bat. I know you were just teasing the audience.
I know, but if they end up breaking up, then it causes a sticky situation. I'm just saying, it's these are the things that you have access to lawyers who can help out with these kind of cases all the time.
Absolutely. We're going to have somebody on next week. To talk about this. I get these calls all the time. So next week, folks, we're going to, of course, have a cannabis update. We always like to talk about our favorite plant, especially here in the middle of the mitten in this beautiful nutrient field. But we definitely want to get to some property rights next week, get to some medical issues in regards to card holders and doctors denying them medical attention because they are card holders. So we got a lot to talk about next week on the show, Craig.
Going to be a big show, but this one's over, man. We got to go.
We have to go. Check us on podcast, and if you don't catch us on 98.5 UPS or Rock 105 95.5, then catch us on Podbean, SoundCloud, iTunes. Subscribe to us on Spotify. We've got dozens and dozens of great shows you can listen to.
There you go. Show's over. Time to take us out, Todd.
I'm not just a litigator. I'm an advocator. Take us out, Craig Russell. We'll see you next week.
Swinging in the bathroom, swinging on the floor, swinging so hard, forgot to lock the door. In walking down the state of 6 foot 4. Said, ain't gonna swing with my daughter no more. She's my cherry pie, cool drinking water, such a sweet surprise. Tastes so good, make it grow.
The Todd L. Levitt Law Show, brought to you by Chad Mallywell Drilling of Rosebush, Clark Modular Homes, your most experienced and trusted builder in Mount Pleasant, Mackinac Properties, and Northern Michigan Vacation Rentals, buying, selling, and renting properties in the Straits of Mackinac region since 1998. Harrison Power Sports, Central Michigan's fastest-growing full-line Arctic Cat dealer, and Dr. Robert Townsend and Denali Healthcare for your alternative healthcare needs.
Opinions expressed on this radio program do not necessarily reflect the views of this radio station.